Today, we step into Genesis 16, a chapter filled with longing, pain, and the God who sees us, even when we feel invisible. This is the story of Sarai, Abram, Hagar, and the God who meets us in the wilderness. Sarai has waited years for God's promise of a child. The silence feels heavy. Her heart aches with disappointment. She finally says to Abram, "The Lord has kept me from having children." Her pain speaks before her faith does. Sarai gives her servant Hagar to Abram, a culturally acceptable solution, but not God's plan. Hagar becomes pregnant, and suddenly the household is filled with tension, insecurity, and wounded pride. Pain multiplies when we try to force what only God can fulfill. Sarai treats Hagar harshly. Hagar flees into the wilderness, alone, pregnant, and heartbroken. She isn't praying. She isn't seeking God. She's simply running. And that's where God finds her. The angel of the Lord meets Hagar by a spring in the desert. He calls her by name. He acknowledges her suffering. He gives her a promise about her son. And Hagar says one of the most beautiful names for God in Scripture. "You are the God who sees me." El Roy. In the wilderness, she discovers she was never invisible. Hagar returns, strengthened. Her son is born and named Ishmael, meaning God hears. God sees, God hears, God comes close, even when we feel far away. Genesis 16 reminds us that God sees us when we feel overlooked, that God hears us when we feel unheard, that God meets us where we run, not just where we should be, and that God's promises don't need our striving, only our trust. Wherever you are today, waiting, hurting, or wandering, He is El Roy, the God who sees you. If this chapter encouraged you, let me know in the comments. Which part of God's promise to Abram speaks to you most today? Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share this with someone who needs a reminder that God keeps His promises. See you in the next story.